Appears to have been a glitch or two.
In a strange way, that part of it didn't have to be acted by Tommy, like it would have been necessary for any number of other actors.
Tommy Lee, he's a great hybrid of incredible smarts and a country boy. He's from San Saba County, and that's where Llewellyn Moss is from, and he couldn't help but remind me of that many, 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 many times.
600-pound steer, you can slaughter a 600-pound steer. That makes sense.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the steer is great. He's of the region to sort of his core, and the region is so much a part of the character.
A character belongs in a place. You have to work hard to make a character look as if he belongs in a place. And I enjoy working in West Texas a great deal. I love that country. It's my home, and it makes it, for me, a very comfortable movie set. Of course, they slaughter steers a lot different these days. Use an air gun. Shoots out a little rod about that far into the brain, sucks right back in. Animal never knows what hit him.
Why are you telling me that, Sheriff?
You can't really act the region. That's why we cast Kelly MacDonald, who happens to be a Scottish actress from Glasgow. And I was very skeptical about it because I just didn't believe she could play a gal from West Texas. And every now and then you come across someone who just has that sort of facility with accents and is that good an actor.
She's gotten the West Texas accent down perfectly. Between takes, she's this sweet little girl from Scotland. And when the camera turns on, she's this pretty tough West Texas gal.
What's in the satchel?
It's full of money.
That'll be the day. Carla Jean is married to Llewellyn, and it's a really sweet relationship, actually. You get the sense that they're very well matched, and she can give as much as, he can take. There's kind of a nice banter between them.
Keep running that mouth of yours, I'm gonna take you in the back and screw you.
Big talk.
Keep it up.
They don't have that many scenes together in the movie.
Llewellyn?
What we tried to convey in the few short scenes that they have together is that they have a very close relationship.
What am I supposed to tell Mama?
Try standing in the door and hollering, Mom, I'm home.
Llewellyn?
Come on, pack your things.
He wants better things for his wife. He wants to be able to create a better life for them and to make her happy.
I got a bad feeling, Llewellyn.
Well, I got a good one, so that ought to even out.
She's just a very normal young woman. They live in a trailer and kind of have a pretty sedate life.
She lives in a trailer, double wide out in the trailer park in Sanderson, Texas, and works at Walmart. I don't know if it's a cliche, but at least people recognize what we're talking about.
The story is about where it takes place as much as anything else.
So the location becomes a huge, important character or element in the story, and it can't be separated from the story.
It was very important to us that we shoot at least the stuff where you really get a feel for the landscape in West Texas.
It's a primitive landscape. It's a survivalist landscape. And that's what the whole story revolves around. It revolves around surviving. And when you live off the land, it's all about the elements. You go with the flow. You have lightning happening over here, it's sunny over here, it's 120 over here, and then it's 50 degrees that night. It's constantly changing.
West Texas is a really beautiful place and a really remote place. We shot some of the movie based out of Marfa.
And that poses its own set of challenges because Marfa is really, it's out there. It's about 3.5 hours from El Paso and about 3.5 hours from Midland, and it's very harsh country, but really gorgeous in a lot of ways. And so we were able to go there and shoot a lot of the wide exterior stuff that really tries to set the mood and give you sort of feel for where the story really takes place.
That look like about a 77 Ford to you, Wendell?
It could be.
I'd say it is, not a doubt in my mind. That look like about a 77 Ford to you, Wendell?
It could be.
I'd say it is, not a doubt in my mind.
It was a little strange discovering that we were making a period movie set in 1980, because in a way we don't associate that with period in the sense that you think of period movies. Still, a surprising number of sort of design elements have to be manipulated to make it convincing.
This structure is the American side of the border crossing into Mexico. The whole thing was prefabbed at the stages that we're shooting on, but now we're in the process of putting the set dressing on there and making it seem like it's been here for 26 years. Taking the movie back 26 years definitely makes it harder. There's all the period vehicles that you have to find. They're all 70s or 80s vintage cars, and they're all this West Texas color palette that I had in mind.
It's a little more tricky than doing something from the 19th century because that's, a complete different time. And 1980 is not that far in the past, but it's far enough in the past that it's a little tricky to find things from that time.
You got a pair of Larry Mann's, shoulder size 11?
I'll check.
It's before the internet, no cell phones. People didn't necessarily keep up with the fashion of the time, so they were looking very much like they did 10 years prior, some people 20 years prior.
It's not often you see a Mexican in a suit.
In West Texas, in the summertime, people wear straw cowboy hats. It's hot, and our movie takes place in the summertime. So Moss and Bell wear straw hats. But Sugar was, to me, the one that was left most wide open. He's a fish out of water, a criminal that was from another part of the country or another country entirely. Sugar is trying to fit in, so he has a denim jacket, but it's not like one that anybody else would wear. And he's a little bit more in with the times. His collar is a little bit bigger. He's got like one of those groovier belts. It's not a Western belt. And then I knew that he should have a boot that was almost like a weapon, and with a toe and a very slanted heel, and just sort of made you kind of cringe if you look at them. And so we actually made them out of alligator, and they're like bumpy and gross and pointy, and they could kill someone.
You know how this is gonna turn out, don't you?
Nope.
And his haircut was so right, and I knew it, and he knew it, and Joel and Ethan just started laughing in a good way.
Well, he has just a fantastic haircut.
Yeah. Javier loved the haircut.
His character has really evolved into this other thing. What we're doing to him and his look, would have never have thought that for the character. Didn't imagine that when we were, reading the script.
So well in there.
He's somebody who needs to be able to blend into the environment where he goes. The fun thing about it is he doesn't blend at all. There's a scene in the film where the crime scene takes place. And when our character Moss first approaches it, there's bodies everywhere on the ground and a dead dog, a pit bull. And we've had to create all these bodies.
That looks good, Christian.
And the challenging thing was to create these bodies to feel bloated, dead, and burnt by the sun. It's because what happens to a body in the desert after 2 days is pretty horrific.